Welcome to AITV News. In the past 72 hours, the Middle East has lurched from open conflict to an uneasy calm, capped by a dramatic claim from the White House. President Donald Trump says U.S. airstrikes have, quote, completely and totally obliterated Iran's nuclear program. But a fresh Defense Intelligence Agency assessment tells a far less decisive story. Tonight, we sort the facts from the rhetoric. Just after midnight on Saturday, June 21st, the United States launched Operation Midnight Hammer. B-2 stealth bombers and submarine-launched cruise missiles hit three of Iran's most sensitive nuclear sites, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. The strikes followed a week of missile exchanges between Israel and Iran and landed hours before a U.S.-brokered ceasefire took effect on Tuesday. Fordow, buried deep inside a mountain, has long been considered nearly impregnable. Natanz is Iran's main enrichment plant, while Isfahan houses research reactors and conversion facilities. Western officials have worried for years that these installations could shorten Iran's path to a bomb, even though Tehran insists its program is purely civilian. From the Rose Garden, President Trump celebrated what he called a historic victory, asserting that Iran's nuclear dream had been crushed. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu echoed the claim. But according to the DIA's preliminary damage report, the reality is murkier. Investigators say the bunker buster bombs sealed Fort House entrances, but left much of the underground complex intact. At Natanz, centrifuge halls were damaged yet not destroyed, and some enriched uranium had reportedly been moved off-site days earlier. Overall, the agency estimates Iran's program has been set back by months, not years. The White House dismisses that conclusion as flat-out wrong. Administration allies on Capitol Hill are demanding an inquiry into the leak. Still, several independent analysts who have reviewed satellite imagery say the DIA's description tracks with what they see from space. The question now is what Tehran does next. If its facilities can be repaired quickly, Iran could decide to sprint for a bomb as a deterrent. Or it could return to the negotiating table, arguing that it has already demonstrated restraint by honoring the ceasefire with Israel. So far, Iranian officials have said only that all options remain on the table. Allies are split. Britain and Australia back the goal of denying Iran a weapon, but are urging renewed diplomacy. Iraq and Saudi Arabia warn that another round of strikes could ignite a regional war neither side wants. Russia and China, for their part, have called an emergency UN Security Council meeting, accusing Washington of reckless escalation. Here at home, the political storm is intensifying. Supporters hail the operation as bold and necessary. Critics argue that advertising total victory when intelligence says otherwise risks undermining U.S. credibility and inviting miscalculation. For now, a fragile ceasefire holds, but the clock is ticking. A more detailed damage assessment is due within weeks, and with a clearer answer to whether Iran's nuclear ambitions have been ended or merely interrupted. We'll keep watching. For AITV News,